Alola trainers, welcome to another TCG video on the PoTown Store YouTube channel. My name is ZapdosTCG and today I'm gonna guide you on how you can make a deck from scratch. So we're gonna be giving you my tips and tricks to actually get a deck made with your favorite Pokemon. So let's just get this journey started and I'll see you guys soon. So we are here right now on PokemonTCG Online. This is a free to use application / game, and you can get codes over at potownstore.com. So that's going to be easy as pie to collect some of the packs for this specific game. In this video, we are actually going to be showcasing how you can actually make a deck, what the deck are made of. We have Pokemon cards, we have trainer cards and energies, how they are divided, which Pokemon to use as tech cards. We have Pokemon that can draw cards. There's so many options available, and today I'm actually going to showcase how I personally make decks. It's going to be quite the journey, so hopefully you guys will enjoy. Be sure to demolish that like button on this video so this PoTown Store YouTube video can actually do very well. And without further ado, let's just get the adventure started. Okay, we're going to be making a deck revolved around Single Strike Urshifu. So Single Strike Urshifu is one of these Urshifus that is able to slap huge damage. So as you can see, we are typically having 4 copies of your main attacker. So in this case, we are playing a V Pokemon. A V Pokemon gives up 2 prize cards if it goes down, and a VMAX gives up 3 prize cards. So in this specific scenario, you can actually select cards from the bottom screen here on the Pokemon side, search which Pokemon you want to be making a deck with, and for things to make it easy, your main attacker typically is a 4-off. So you can hold down the control button on your keyboard and then double click, and then there's going to be 4 of these implemented into your deck list. So now we have our Single Strike Urshifu V. So we know that is needing fighting type energies to accelerate it to them to just go crazy with its impact blow, 180 damage, not too bad. We also have a psychic type weakness, and I'm going to showcase which deck cards can get rid of that weakness. We also need some draw support. We will need additional Pokemon to accelerate more energies, and that's all going to be possible in this specific video. This is also a single strike card, which means this is some specific mechanic that means that specific single strike Pokemon cards will work together, but more on that later. So we have Single Strike Urshifu V. That is going to be our main attacker. What other Pokemon do we need? Of course, it's evolution. It's going to be Urshifu V Max. I suggest a 4-tree line if you're going for a stage 1 evolution line. Maybe you're playing a Dragapult deck. Maybe you're playing another stage 1 deck in general. It doesn't matter. I think a 4-tree line is sufficient because there are ways to get back Pokemon from the discard pile, which I also gonna explain in this video. So this is our main attacker. It needs fighting type energy. So what I typically do is go to the energy section and add in some energies here. So we can type in fighting. So we are a fighting type. And there's a couple of energies here. There are Rapid Strike energies which are not compatible with our Single Strike Pokemon. We do have Single Strike energies which are compatible, and these are special energies which you are only able to play 4 of in a deck. I actually should let you know that Pokemon, trainers, and special energies, you can only play 4 of as a maximum with the same name in the card. In this scenario, we're going to be including 4 single strike energies. These are energies that allow us to dish out an additional 20 damage with our Pokemon that have single strike imprinted onto them. So on the right top corner, you see this. They have single strike logo implemented on the card, and that means they can actually slap 20 additional damage. It also counts as a fighting and darkness type energy simultaneously. So that's our special energies. What other energies do we typically run in this kind of a list? I think this list is also nice to use other special energies. I think you definitely need about like 3 fighting type energies, just because of the first attack on the Urshifu V here, because this allows you to search your deck for 2 fighting energies. This will not count for your single strike energy because that is only a fighting energy while attached. Basic energies, you can play as many as you want. You can play like whatever amount, but the typical average amount of energies in decks is around 12 energies as max. So you don't have to go overboard. In this scenario, I think I will just be sufficient with 3 of these. You also have more fighting type energies. There's the stone fighting energy, reducing damage to you by 20, which actually make have your survivability get increased by a mile. So you have the stone fighting energy. You might include that if you want to, or you might skip it entirely. So what else am I a big fan of is other special energies. You may want to use your filter here and go for special energies, and then you can actually select any special energies you want. Some of them are legal for the standard play only, so just mark it down as standard if you want to be making a standard deck. This is a video based on the standard format, so I do think a couple of capture energies are very nice in this specific list. And the reason for that is that you can get multiple Pokemon from the deck while requiring a cardless energy. As we've seen in the VMAX, its attack cost, it does have a cardless energy attack cost, so I do think adding a couple of these is very nice. So maybe 2. You don't have to go overboard, and then maybe that stone fighting energy is also nice to have some extra survivability. So I think 11 energies is nice. This is a strange way you have these energies. Typically you would have like for fire energies you have like 11 fire energies or 12 fire energies, and other decks, for instance Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, they need water energy and metal energy. You might see a split line between like 7 metal energies and then 3 water energies. So in this situation, fighting type is the only type we care about, and we can of course implement special energy like the capture energy to get more Pokemon into play. So these are the energies for this specific deck. If you are dotting with one type, you have actually special energies for every specific type, and you can see that by filtering them down on special energies. As you can see, there's also recycle energies, which could happen in this specific deck. Also weak guard energy if we want, but we have a better way to get rid of our psychic type weakness. So the energy department is already finished up. Our main attacker is already finished up. Now we just need to look at this specific attacker and just say, okay, it has 330 HP. It needs a lot of energies. How can we get energies onto this guy? Its first attack needs 3 energies, its second attack needs 4 energies. That's a little bit hard, right? Because you're only able to attach 1 energy a turn. Well, luckily there is also a Houndoom, which is also printed in the battle style set. So almost everything you see here is printed in the battle style set. Houndoom is a stage 1 Pokemon that allows you to search your deck for a single strike energy and attach it to one of your single strike Pokemon. Then we can shuffle our deck and put 2 damage counters on the Pokemon we attach it to. So that means this special energy that allows us to dish out 20 additional damage actually is very easy to search it out from the deck all the way to our Pokemon because of Houndoom. Houndoom is a stage 1, so we will need the pre-evolution for that, and I think that the best bet is going to be our good friend Houndour. So we have Houndour. As mentioned, you can only play 4 of a specific copy. We cannot add an additional one, so you can only play 4 with the same name. So a 4/4 line of Houndoom is nice. What else could be included in this specific archetype? You might think about other Pokemon, but these are our main Pokemon. We have our support Pokemon able to accelerate energies to our big boy single strike Urshifu VMAX. Now we need to think about some attack cards. These are actually cards that don't attack at all, and they help you out in specific ways. In this scenario, you just have to look at the card pool, but there is a Jirachi out there that allows you to get rid of your psychic type weakness. Because Dragapult is still popular, Mewtwo is still popular, you want to be getting rid of that psychic weakness with a Jirachi. What else might deck building be? Well, in today's era, 2021, I think you actually need a couple of the Danny GX. Danny GX is a fantastic support Pokemon that allows you to slap it down on your bench and draw 6 cards. This does not allow, this is only allowed once during your turn, but if you have 2 Dedanis, if one of them is priced, you don't care. And also, if you want to be using it again, it is going to be awesome. And this also doesn't count as your support of the turn. This is just the effect of the ability. Very, very strong. Also, I suggest adding in a Crobat. And Crobat will be the spiritual successor to Dedenne when Dedenne eventually rotates out of the format. So in August, there's going to be a rotation. Don't worry about that too much for now. For now, the deck building into 2021, if you want to be playing tournaments, it's going to be adding in 2 Dedenne, adding in a Crobat, and last but not least is adding in an Eldigo. So that's actually the main way most decks are made up. So you have Eldigos to get back supported cards from your discard pile. You have Crobat, which allows you to draw cards until you have 6. And Dedenne, if you slap it down, discard your hand and draw 6. So lots of Pokemon consistency cards, if I have to say. So there's a lot of stuff already in here. We're already at 20 Pokemon. That seems to be the limit for the Pokemon in decks. Like it's averagely between like I would say like 13 Pokemon and 20 Pokemon. Anything in between are there. For the energy count, I already said an average of 12. Certain decks do run more energies, but it's highly unlikely. Maybe Blacephalon decks might go over even to like 16 energies, but that's about the limit. Most decks are just capping at like 12 energies at an average. Okay, so we have the Pokemon established. You can also scroll around a little bit if you want to be checking out some more battle styles. You have a perfect filter here on this menu, so you can scroll a little bit. Are there any other Pokemon I want to be including in a deck? You can just scroll a little bit and see which other Pokemon you might think about. In this specific case, this Single Strike Urshifu VMAX is able to strike to any one of the opponent's Pokemon because it neglects all the effects of your opponent's active. So you don't need an answer against walling cards like the CGY or Altaria, so this seems to be efficient. Right, so our deck is almost complete. Now the most important factors. Trainer cards. These are the most important cards in the entire deck. I cannot stress that out. Trainer cards allow you to get energies back from the discard pile, allow you to draw cards, allow you to gust up Pokemon in the active slot from your opponent's bench to the active. You can retreat with it. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So typically how I make decks, so as you can see, we selected our main attacker, we selected our card of choice to accelerate energies, and we have our setup. Not all decks need a support Pokemon to accelerate energies, but this is going to be the way we are making this deck work, because this needs way too many energies to attack in the first place. Now we're gonna go over to trainers and how I typically go. Like, we have 29 slots left for trainers. You might even lower your energy count if you don't have enough space, so we're gonna talk about that later, but typically I just scroll over all the cards. Air Balloon allows you to just get free retreat or 2 retreat costs less. That's gonna be huge for Houndoom, which has a 2 retreat cost. That's the first thing I'm talking about. While I'm doing this, I'm actually going to just stress it out here, is that Professor's Research is almost in every deck as a 4-off. So we hold down the control button and click, so we have 4 copies of that. Also, Marnie is a great card, which allows you to shuffle the hands into your deck, and the opponent does the exact same thing. Opponent gets 4 cards, you get 5 cards. Some decks run 4 copies. I think this list will run about 2 copies, because you also have Bruno, by the way. And Bruno is also a very crazy card because it's a single strike card. If one of your Pokemon got knocked out during the opponent's last turn, you can actually draw 7 cards instead of 4 after shuffling your hand into your deck. So maybe adding in a copy of that is also not too bad. Other than that, for decks, I think 4 Quick Balls are also a way to go. So 4 Quick Balls, putting them instantly in there. So and we're gonna wait with the Bruno. We're just gonna put with the classic, also wait with the Air Balloon. I'm just gonna give you the classics. Research, Marnie, and Boss are almost in every single deck. So you can just select. I think this deck probably needs around like 2 or 3. You do have the Eldigos to get 1 back. You might think we don't even need Eldigos, so you cut down 1 Eldigos. That is also an option. That is definitely also an option. So now that we have this established, we have more room for trainer cards, which I do find the most important factor. So as you can see, we have Boss Zordis, Marnie, Research, and Quick Ball. All the rest, I just start off with this first, like 4 Research, 2 Marnie, 3 Boss, 4 Quick Ball, and then scroll to a couple of cards. As mentioned, the Air Balloons were nice. All the rest of the cards that I don't mention are not too interesting. Big Charm will give you an extra 30 HP. I don't think it's necessary because you already have a high amount of HP. Bird Keeper is nice to get out of the active slot while drawing cards. Also, sometimes this is used in a lot of decks. What else? We have Boss Zordis, which we already talked about. Very, very great. We have Bruno. You might add in 2 copies of that into your deck, just because this is a single strike card, and there's also a stadium card out there, which allows you to discard a single strike card from hand in order to draw a couple of cards. So that's gonna be awesome. We have more cards here, so you just scroll around a little bit to see which cards you might want. Calyx Well is a nice option, but as mentioned, there's a better stadium card. Cherish Ball, not necessary in this kind of a list. Crushing Hammers are always fun, but I don't think this has the room for it, since this is a double stage 1 deck. Stage 1s are a little bit hard to get out, so you probably will need some other sorts of ball mechanic on top of the Quick Balls here. So many cards to choose from. As you can see, all of these cards are all in the standard format, and it makes it a little bit hard to just select which cards you want. Energy Retrieval is nice, but we are not running a lot of basic Pokemon, actually basic energies, I would say. You have Erika's Hospitality, also pretty nice, and Escape Rope. Escape Rope, getting out of the active position. This could be an interesting card. For now, I'm actually going to be adding in 2 copies. As you can see, we just adding anything. Evolution Incense is a nice card. EXP Share, not needing that because we have Energy Acceleration. Fan of Waves to get some slow down on the opponent, putting special energies on the bottom of their deck. Don't think it's necessary. Giant Bomb for the damage numbers, also not necessary in this specific list. Great Ball is a card that might be interesting. So for now, I'm actually adding in 4 copies, and we can lower that down later. Great Catcher is nice. I don't think we'll need it, although Great Catcher is a nice way, so you don't have to go all out, because Dedenne is still weak to fighting, so that's interesting. Green Engines, so many item cards to choose from. and so many supporters. You might just go for filters and go for the items first, then the stadiums, then supporters. It is all up to you. Karate Belt allows you to attack even if you, if you're behind in prize card, you need 1 fighting energy less to use your crazy attacks. Might be interesting in this deck. We're going to be sliding in 1 copy for now. Level Ball could get out your Houndours a little bit earlier, but I think Great Ball on the other hand is a little bit better. You can hide with Lily's Pokédoll a little bit to save yourself some turns. So I'm always mentioning the interesting cards. Martial Arts Dojo will allow you to hit even more damage if you're behind in prize cards. 40 damage more if you're behind, or just 10 if it's just in play, and if you're equal or ahead in the prize race. So lots of trainers. We're just establishing. This is how I typically make decks. Just scroll around all the cards. Ordinary Rot is pretty nice. Palpat allows you to shuffle some supporters back. Could be nice. Phoebe allows you to hit through anything with your V maxes, but our attack already does that, so we don't need that. Pokegears allow you to find supporters. Could also see some play in decks. Pokemon Catcher is a little bit unreliable. Pokemon Communication, I will add 4 copies for now. And as you can see, we've already extended our cards. Our deck space is only 60. And now we already have 63. We have to actually lower some of our cards down. We already have 4 copies of Research, 4 copies of the Quick Ball. There is a reset stamp, but I don't think this deck needs it, as it actually pretty much one-hit KOs anything in the game. But we can actually include one for now. That's how I typically make decks. Just put everything in there and then lower down on the counts. Scoop Up Nut, we will not need that in this list because everything needs to be in play. The Scroll is nice. It's a single strike card, which actually allows you to dish out more damage. If you get damaged, you can actually slap 10 damage for 10 more for every damage counter on this Pokemon. So I do see this working out. Rapid Strike, Single Strike Mustard, not going to be seeing used because it's a little bit hard to get it out. We have some other cards here. Some switches. Switches are nice though. Maybe a couple of switches. So as you can see, we're already at 69 cards. Don't worry about it too much. Tool Scrapper is also nice. Maybe Tower of Darkness, 3 copies as your stadium card of choice, because if you discard a single strike card from your hand, you can actually draw 2 cards, which actually helps with setup. We have the Vitality of Urn, or actually Urn of Vitality. Maybe a couple of copies of that, so you can shuffle back your single strike energies once they have seen the discard pile. And yeah, I think we're done. So as you can see, this is our deck right now. It's way too much and it's illegal right now, so we need to make some changes. First off, I'm actually gonna get rid of 1 energy. So we were playing 10 energies instead. For the line, I don't think this is actually perfect. I don't think we'll need to change anything here. And now it's actually gonna have to come down to this. Evolution Essence, let's get rid of that. Escape Rope going down to 1 copy. Although we do have a high amount of boss, so let's get rid of Escape Rope entirely. Let's get rid of the Great Catcher. It has to be choices. Do we go for a Level Ball to find our Houndour? It's gonna be a little bit better if we just go for Communication. So we're actually gonna go lower down on Level Balls. We have 4 Communication, we have 4 Quick Balls, so that's already nice. Maybe cutting down on the Reset Stamp, cutting down on the Tool Scrapper. We have 3 switches, and maybe 1 Air Balloon is sufficient here. So 1 Air Balloon, 3 switches. This is a nice card here. The Scroll, which allows you to dish out more damage if you get damaged. I think I'm gonna cut down on Karate Belt. This is a hard choice. Cutting down on Karate Belt or not. Or do we go for 1 Karate Belt with 1 Scroll? It's also a nice option. So we have 3 tool cards. There is our Bruno, 2 Marnie, 4 Research. Lots of stadium cards to draw cards with though. So if we cut down on the Great Balls, we are almost there. We can use Ordinary Rod, we have Quick Balls, we have Communications, 3 Tower of Darkness. Maybe going down to 2 switches, but that's a little bit skeptical because I actually want to have more switches, so sometimes if you go second, you can go for a Laser Focus. And definitely with 2 Denali and Acrobat, you will be able to draw a lot of cards. So the last couple of steps are always the hardest part, cutting down on which cards you are not going to be playing. Oh boy, the last card is always like the most difficult one, I think. I think I will go for the Ordinary Rod. Yeah, because we can still like discard. We will not need all of our Urshifu, so this seems to be nice to me. How about that? So we have our 60, and we're going to be trying this out on the Versus Ladder. Make sure you have a Stadium card in your deck. If you don't know which Stadium card you want, put in a Chaotic Swell and you're going to be good. For the supporter wise, I think Marnie, Research, and Boss are the most important ones. Be sure to include them. Prize support Pokemon to draw cards with the Danny and Crobat, be sure to include so you have more consistency. Be sure to add in some Quick Balls and some switch outs, for instance switch out Air Balloons. And that's about it. All the rest is free to choose. Go crazy and make your deck. So today we are going to be making this deck. PoTown Urshi. PoTown Urshi. There we go. Then we can select a cool coin. How about Charizard? We can select some cool sleeves on here. Player Cup 3 sleeves. You can also get some cool deck boxes and specific collection boxes. So we have PoTown Urshi and we are going to be playing a game with this. So hopefully you guys are excited. As you see, our deck established very well. We have enough basic Pokemon. We have 4 offs of the most important cards. We have Quick Balls, we have Research, we have Marnies. So we should be all good. Okay, hopefully we will be able to at least like poke some damage on another opponent. As mentioned, if you go second, you can go for that laser focus. Doesn't always happen in every single time, in any single game, but we already started with one, so that's not too bad. Okay, we can also rely on a Quick Ball. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not gonna use the Deckbuilding. We cut down our ordinary route here, and against an ADP deck, we are able to rely on laser focus. So we have to play it nice and safely. A Captivating Wing. Yeah, sometimes ADP players do play Mawile, and Mawile just slaps down basic Pokemon from our hand all the way down on the bench. Very sad, but true. Either way, we still have our Quick Ball by our side, so we don't have to worry about a thing just yet. Unless, I wonder if we should go for like Quick Ball Crobat or Quick Ball Dedenne. It all depends on what is still left in the deck, to be honest. So as you can see, the deck is made up of Eldigos, very great, a couple of switch cards, more ball engines. We have communication for that, so they already have their water energy onto their ADP. And this is a deck that is very popular nowadays, also easily available thanks to the League Battle deck. And there's an Intrepid Sword, so I'm getting scared a little bit, because if we go for the Dedenne, we are gonna be in trouble. This is actually not too bad. Love this approach. So I'm actually gonna go for a single strike energy onto our Urshifu. That is gonna allow us to hit crazy numbers. Hopefully there are still a lot of energies in our deck. Hopefully. Either way, I'm actually gonna Quick Ball one of our Urshifus away. We also have Boss's Orders. I'm actually gonna slap down a Houndour. We could go for the Dedenne, we could go for Crobat, but I think this is better because an ADP deck typically is not attacking on its first couple of turns. Also, just checking how many fighting type energies. There are enough fighting type energies in here, so that's going to be terrific. Okay, let's go for the laser focus, getting some energies onto our fella. Ta-ta! And our next plan is probably going to be knocking out this ADP and see how we go from there. There's a Crushing Hammer as well. That is failing. Very interesting and annoying card here, Crushing Hammer, that allows people to discard energies, and discarding energies is very bad. Hopefully we top deck something nice. We could have gone for Crobat, but the problem is that this ADP has the Altered Creation GX, and that actually is a whole heap of text on the card, but it actually means if they knock something out for the rest of the game, they take an additional prize card. As you know by now, you win the game by taking all your 6 prize cards, so that's something we don't want to give them access to. So as you can see, if you go second, you can resort to Laser Focus. She's still going to go for Alter Creation, which we don't care about too much. And we will be able to one-hit KO him. I wonder what we should go for, to be honest. We can go for... this Mawa's not going to do much, this Zacian is not going to do much. I am actually doubting to use our Boss's Orders here and wait with the powerful G-Max 1 blow until we are ready to strike. How many Metal Saucers are in the discard pile? Okay, he bosses the Dedenne. Super huge, because we actually don't have a way to retreat it. Or do we? We have our good friend Quick Ball by our side, so we have interesting stuff, that's for sure. So we have our Urshi, we have our Houndoom, and because we have Quick Ball, we can actually go for the only Crobat. I'm actually gonna go for Crobat first, and we're gonna be using this ability, Single Strike Roar. It's the first time we're using this. That means we can accelerate an energy onto a Single Strike Urshifu, which is now ready to take care of that ADP. And we are gonna go for Crobat. The only thing we're concerned about is finding an energy or a switch. Now, that's even better than I expected. We have the Air Balloon, so we're gonna be putting the Air Balloon onto our fella. We're going to be retreating. And we're gonna make quick work of this fella. Next turn, we probably will not be able to attack, unfortunately, so it's gonna be a little bit scary. We also have those 2 prize liabilities, so hopefully we top deck or get something nice from the prize cards here. G-Max 1 blow, look at that. Our deck is working 310 damage, slapped all the way onto that ADP. So we take our first couple of prize cards, so we are doing pretty good. And no Pokemon in sight, so we do have Tower of Darkness, which allows us to discard a card from hand in order to draw 2 cards. So that at least is nice. We probably will draw ourselves out of the situation. How do we get ourselves rolling once again? Maybe we can resort to another Urshifu. This guy is not able to attack today, unless he has a lot of Metal Saucers. Also, if we get a lot of damage onto ourselves, we can resort to our scroll that we implemented into our list. That's going to be sufficient for knocking out some stuff. I wonder how this opponent will react to our insane hand right now. We can also switch over to Houndoom and strike a little bit of damage with Houndoom, which is able to use Darkness Fang. I wonder what he's going to go for. He only has 4 cards in hand, and there's going to be a Great Catcher again, targeting down our Dedenne here. Does he have anything else in hand? What did he get rid of? He has Cherish Ball. Hopefully his last Dedenne is prized. It is not. So sometimes, yeah, people have ways to play with 2 Dedennes. As you can see, people playing Dedenne, people playing Eldegoss, people playing Crobat. It's the exact same stuff I was mentioning here. I can also not promise you guys we are gonna win because we are in an awkward position right now. Also, I'm glad that Eldegoss and Boss are gone. Okay, Saucer, oof. Saucer, attach of turn. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have seen the most luckiest player in the world finding himself everything he needed from that Dedenne. And a Quick Ball as well, so there could be even a Crobat coming. Yeah, no Crobat in town. And there's a Crobat, oh boy! So this guy has everything. I'm at least glad I was able to showcase how the deck functions, but this guy has some good luck by his side. I actually hope that he was not able to get an attack off. He's probably like digging for his last boss's orders because as you can see, he's going to be taking an additional prize card, and that's going to be giving him 3 prize cards in total. And we slapped down Crobat, so how do we go about this? We need to find Marnie to put the opponent's hand size to a reasonable size. He had Great Catcher, he had the Dedenne, he had Saucers, he had everything. We have the Marnie, so at least that's nice. Nice to see. We can use the Urn to shuffle some of our energies back. Ta-da! We can attach up the turn. We can go for another one of our single strike roars to accelerate some more. And hopefully next turn we're gonna be able to KO this Zacian. Maybe he doesn't have a switch card. That's what we need to hope for. How many switch cards has he played? 2 of them. Okay, shouldn't be that hard, right? Let's go for the Marnie. Here is the Marnie. Let's see what we are able to do. We have the Scroll of Scorn. Okay. We're gonna slap down this. We're gonna be using the Tower of Darkness. As you can see, we're using everything in this deck. Okay, another Urshifu here. We're actually gonna be going with this, getting the scroll on that one, and just hope he doesn't have switch. That's what we need to hope for. We have the Furious Anger. As you can see, we do slap 90 damage because we have damage onto ourselves and because of the power of single strike energy. So that means we can actually knock him out with Beatdown next turn. Crushing Hammers, they are heads. He has 4 cards in hand. Let's just hope none of them are double Crushing Hammers. Well, I tried. Ladies and gentlemen, I tried. We were up against ADP and he is playing Hammers. So what we need to do is establish again lots of these energies. Right now we dished out 90 with 2 single strikes. Unfortunately not enough. Yeah, we're gonna have to give him one of our Pokemon here. It's gonna be Houndour. Okay. He has the switch out. That means he can attack again and take another prize card. He can take another prize card. We could have not promoted anything else or we would have been done for. Alright. What can we do now? What can we do now? So that escape rope definitely helped him out for sure. We also don't have a reset stamp. We do have Bruno though, so we can accelerate here again. Go for a Bruno play. Okay, right now that's going to be 50. Do we have any other energies left? Do we? We can check that out with Pokemon Communication. If there's still energies left in deck. There's still one single strike energy left, okay. Alright. Let's just hope he doesn't have boss's orders. That's what we need to hope for. And we still have access to one Marnie as well. Okay. Probably need to shut down on his hand. It's gonna be difficult, that's for sure. Don't know what I should take here. We will accelerate one energy now. That means we get some more damage onto ourselves, slap some more. What to do? We can get another Urshifu VMAX, or we can get a Dedenne so we can scout for a Marnie the following turn so he doesn't have boss. Yeah, lots of things to think about, that's for sure. We only need to hope he doesn't have boss's orders. And we get damage once again. Here comes our attack. Furious Anger. Unfortunately, barely not enough. He has 20 HP remaining because of his luck with Crushing Hammers. So sometimes Crushing Hammers is the way people win games. Also, if he has Escape Rope, he can also win the game, I think. Maybe should have gone for the Urshifu VMAX here. How many Escape Ropes in here? Quick Ball gets rid of Zacian. There's a research, so no boss's orders here. But maybe he has Escape Rope, and that's also gonna allow him to win the game. So many options. I think next turn he might also get a lot of saucers. How many energies in there? Only one. Well played. Does he have the Escape Rope? Well played. We are just friendly. He has the Rusted Sword. Wow. Okay, with Rusted Sword, this Zacian is able to slap a freaking 290 damage output, which is enough to knock us out, unfortunately. We tried our best. This deck is working out pretty well. We had a little bit unfortunate accidents going around with the opponent having the Mawile, with the opponent having, of course, the double heads on the Crushing Hammers, which also would have won us the matchup. We could have knocked this guy out, no problems asked. But sometimes it is what it is. And I actually enjoyed myself, so be sure to check out this deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on how to make a deck yourself. Try it out, add in your copies of Dedenne, add in your copy of Crobat, add in your Quick Balls, add in your research, your Marnies, and your boss's orders, and you should be fine. Just select your favorite Pokemon, get some combinations to go around with, and you should be good. Okay, that was it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Rapid Strike, Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. It's a strong archetype. We created it from scratch, and I already mentioned that you need your supporter lineup, Marnie, Research Boss. You need your Quick Balls and maybe other Pokemon Ball engines, maybe Communication, maybe Level Ball, depends on your deck. You need to have around 12-ish energies if you're just making a deck from standard. Also, if you have energy acceleration, be sure to include that for that specific typing. In our case, we have Houndoom. In other decks, you have stuff like Welder is a great card. You have stuff like Rillaboom to accelerate energies, Metal Saucer for the metal deck. So this was a video about creating decks. I wish you all a very fantastic rest of your day. If you want to learn more about the Pokemon TCG in general, be sure to check out my channel as well, ZapdosTCG. I do competitive Pokemon TCG content on there every single day. And if you're looking for codes, of course, PoTown Store has your back to get everything you might want on TCGO. I wish you all a very fantastic rest of your day, and thanks again for watching. Peace.